Welcome, PearlBuggs, to another speed build. Today we are doing a modern cabin. It's a base build in Willow Creek. Although it is well suited for Granite Falls, if you have that pack, you could move it in there. That is the vibe I have in mind as I'm building it, although I couldn't do that with base build. Here I'm adding in a lot of woods and stone. You will see that a lot throughout. And a large chimney. I wanted this to be a future piece in the build so that the whole front half is a large fireplace and the stone goes all the way up into the pitched roof. After I finish with the roofing is when I start to add in that stone. I decide between a few different colors. In the end, I go with both the light and the darker stone so that I can have some accents throughout, such as the chimney and a few other parts. I struggle with this part of the roofing, but in the end, I come back to it and fix it a bit. It won't stick into the pitched roof as much after. These are the windows I decide on. They go with the modern vibe of the cabin, but still keep in the wood and rustic feel of the build. I keep the windows out of the back for now because I know that I will be adding a kitchen into that area and won't know what the windows are going to be yet. It's a simple layout with a bathroom, bedroom to one side and a large open kitchen and dining space. You can't see it right now, but it is partially open and pitched up into the roof with a tiny loft that is over the kitchen. I keep the kitchen modern, but with some beiges and browns. I liked to keep that throughout, but to balance it with the lighter beiges so it didn't get too dark in the space. I do end up adding some green accents since it is a really natural feeling building. I didn't want to add any bright colors. I go a few different times with different roofing. For some reason the game kept deleting it and I had to keep coming back to put it back in. I do quite a lighter one in the end. Right now it's mid-tone, but I go for almost white wood after. I also struggle with the stairs. You won't really see that in here. I deleted it out because it took me so long to get the stairs in. It kept clipping, I guess, with the pitch ceiling, so the game wouldn't let me put it where I wanted it. I initially wanted it along the wall going up, but it would not let me put it there. I tried going across the kitchen dining area. It looked okay there too. In the end, I do put it along the wall. It's just out in the wall a little bit, but it still fits. I take a few times to change out what I'm going to put on that big white wall. I wanted to put a little hutch for dishes in that. I thought it would suit it, but I do end up doing a table, I believe, in the end. I finished the stone over here. I change it so that the whole wall is stone though, because if you ever are in first person and you're looking, you can't change how you paint the roof. It's all one and it would look weird. So I thought it was better in the end to have the whole wall be stone rather than just where the chimney was. Outside, I kept it simple, some bushes and some small shrubs, nothing too much there. I add in the green with the couch and with the chairs. This is when I decide what color I will add. I tried a few different colors, some that were a bit brighter, but as I had said earlier, it didn't go well with the vibe of what this place is supposed to be. So the more washed out green with the rug and the furniture looks much better. I was going to do more wood for the coffee table as well, but I was starting to think it was a bit too much and I wanted to brighten it up. So I added some more lighter colors with the table instead. I then finish the outside and add some trees and some bushes. Here would be nice to have a pine tree. If it was in Granite Falls, I would have filled the outside with a lot of pine trees since the build does go with that style. But being here in Willow Creek, it didn't suit it and it would have looked strange. I was going to do something different in the back with the bushes and do flowers instead. I didn't like it, so I went back to using the same as the front with the lavender and the bushes. I don't keep the picnic bench though. I thought that would be good, but then I go with the wooden folded up chairs instead and a little gardening area as well. I finish out here with a tree and adding in some terrain paint to make it look more natural. Once I'm done on the outside, the final touches, I move on to the bedroom. In the bedroom, I add another bathroom. Since the space was so big, I felt there would be another bathroom. There is a loft upstairs with a bed, so there is technically 2 bedrooms, and having 2 baths would be more ideal. I couldn't decide on the tiles. I am not too fond of the tiles in base game, and I still wanted to keep with the white and brown colors. I do the lighter one to brighten up the space. Also, the white tile is smaller and it just looked better. I couldn't get the towels to move down. I come back and add them in. If you're ever having that problem with the towels or anything on the wall not moving up and down with 9 and 0, you can try hitting Alt and 9 and it's supposed to reset it. I found that worked because for me it kept, every time I tried to move the object up or down, I'd hit 9 and it would fly my camera across the city, and that was a little frustrating. But I googled it and Alt 9 reset it and it was working. I was going to put in a closet, one of the built-in closets in the corner, but base game didn't have one, or at least I believe they don't. So I added in the tall closet dresser that filled in the space. I wanted to separate the bedroom space with the sitting area. I had the bookshelf with a little, I feel like it's a little book nook where you could sit, read, but separate from the bedroom if you wanted, especially if there's 2 Sims living here, you can separate the space that way. These lights I really like for this build. It's a mix of rustic, but it goes with the larger ceilings. Here again with the mirror in the front, I do have troubles getting it to move up and down, and that's when I found out how to fix the 9 key, and I go back to fix all that. I add stone along the whole front wall after this too. It warmed up the front hallway a bit. I finally come back to the area in the kitchen, which I couldn't decide on earlier. This is when I decide to put in a table and some plants and a book. I kind of imagined it was a cookbook and some more plants and a big picture to fill up what is left over there. I again have to do the ceiling. It keeps deleting, so you will see me do that a few more times. The last thing for the kitchen is to add in some appliances and clutter. Here are blankets that as soon as I saw them, I thought they suited the living room so well that I immediately put them in. And shelves in this space. I debated if I was going to add more cabinets or if I wanted to do shelves. This looked better, and then you can see the tile on the wall, and you can add some flowers and color that way. I finished the downstairs by adding in the beam to match with the other side, and I believe this is the last time I add the ceiling tile. Hopefully it's in the gallery build. For the loft, I added in similar furniture to the rest of the build. However, I wanted it to be lighter, so it is painted white. The people here probably wanted to brighten it up and painted it. That was what I was thinking. And I add a lot of lights because it is dark in here and I can't add any more windows, and because the lofts in The Sims are a bit difficult to work with, I added light to brighten it. I do have to move the carpet when I finally add in the stairs, but other than that, it stays much the same. And here you can finally see the idea of what I had for that open loft space. The last thing I do on this is to add some lights, and I also fix some of the shrubs to match the new window placement on the side. And that is all for today. So if you like that, please subscribe, and I will see you next time. Goodbye, everyone.